Hi, I'm Jake Walker, Worldwide 843, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to survive your freshman year of college. So, I just went through my freshman year of college. I graduated in 2012 and went to college in the fall. And college is a very interesting experience. It's not like high school in many ways, but in many other ways it's similar. So, I was really anxious over the summer after I had went through orientation, because my orientation was extremely early. My freshman orientation was like June 4th, like really, really early. I just graduated like 2 days before. And so that was a really frustrating experience because where I went, it was a 2-day process. And so, like, you didn't know anybody, you were thrown into this random group. It's kind of difficult for me to, like, make friends very quickly anyway. So, 2 days and being, like, passed around and all this stuff was not very good, I guess. But it turned out alright. So, my first day was probably the worst day of my entire life, as of yet. Because on my first day, I'm a commuter. I live fairly close to the university that I attend. And I was driving to school. Well, I had planned out my route. Like, even though I live close, I mean, I don't go there all the time, and I hadn't been there in a long time since I started attending school there. And so I was going there, and the road that I always take to get there was closed. Yeah, just randomly. So I had to go off on a road that I had no idea where I was going, and hopefully I would get there. Now, I had left a little bit earlier because I knew that something like this would probably happen. So I'm going, and this person doesn't stop at a stop sign, and I'm trying to turn, and then he's honking at me, flipping me off, and cussing me out. Best moment ever. So then I get there, and I get parked and everything, and then I start trying to walk to class. Well, in order to get to class, or where I was going, you have to cross an intersection. You actually have to cross, like, 2 of them. And so I get to the intersection, it's my turn to, like, walk across the intersection, and this car is trying to turn and honks at me, and I'm like, this is inappropriate right now. So that was a fun time. Got cussed at, flipped off, and honked at multiple times. Then my second day, I got hit by a bike, which I haven't really heard of very many other people having that experience, but it happened to me, and it was a fairly bad one. But after the first couple days, it got way better. And this brings me to my next point, is in high school, you generally have, like, homework every night, and it's due the next day. Well, in college, it's not like that. In college, you go to class, but you may not have that class every single day. And here's another thing. I didn't understand the credit hour system when I first started, but the number of credit hours the course is how many hours per week you're in that class. So if you have a 3 credit hour English class, that means you're going to be in that English class 3 hours a week. It may be 3 days a week, it could be 1 2-hour class, and then another 1-hour class. But you'll be in that class 3 hours a week. It's really pretty simple. But in college, you're not really given, like, homework, I guess. It's more of, like, reading and test-based stuff. Now, I'm a math and physics major, so I get quite a bit of, like, math and physics homework assignments, but that's just because those are the classes that they are, and you kind of have to, like, do homework and practice with stuff like that, or you won't succeed. But in all of my core required classes, like history and English and all that stuff, you don't have very much homework, and mainly because since they're core classes, they're going to have a lot of people in them. This is another funny, not very funny story. On my first day, I had my speech class, which our speech class was made up of a large lecture. It was a 3 credit hour class. It was made up of a 1-hour large lecture that had probably over 500 kids in it. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we would break down into smaller sections that had, I don't know, maybe 20 to 30 kids in it. So it wasn't that bad. And besides, I mean, speech is really kind of a fun class anyway. And you learn a lot, even if you don't really think that you do. So, you're not really given homework that is like short term. Like, all of the assignments that you're really given are more long-term assignments. Like, if you need to write a paper, they're not going to say, oh, this paper's due next week. They're going to be like, no. You have, like, 3 papers in this course, and one is due in, like, 2 months, another is due in a month, and then you have one for your final. And so, it's really quite different, and it's really nice because, other than, like, studying, you have plenty of, like, free time. Which, for me, once again, I'm a math and science person, so all of my time is spent studying, except for on the weekends. And you need to learn to, like, pace yourself and take breaks. College is 99% time management and, like, 1% everything else. If you don't have good time management skills, when you get into college, you will, because it is very, very, very important. And you also need to do the readings that, like, your instructors assign. Because those readings are what you're going to be tested over. And I know some people are like, well, I'm not a type of person that reads well and comprehends this. I need an instructor to teach. Well, there are going to be some instructors that teach. And then there are going to be others that just say, this is what we're doing, and in class I'm just going to talk about random stuff that doesn't even pertain to anything, which is quite annoying. Next, you have the people. I went to a really small high school, so when I got to college, it was kind of crazy, because my high school only had like 400 kids in it. And like I said, I had that comm class that had over 500 kids in it. That's like bigger than my high school. So, it was way different. And in college, I've read some of my friends on Facebook, they're always talking about drama. There's only drama if you make drama. Like, there are so many people in college that you can't even pay attention to what half of them say. Like, if you don't like one person, it's okay. You're never going to see them again. If you don't like a person that you have in class, chances are, if it's not in, like, one of your major classes, you're never going to see them again. So, one, I'm not saying make enemies, but at the same time, realize if there's people that you don't like, don't worry about it. Screw them, because you're never going to see them again. And don't worry. And also, college changes a lot of people. And I say changes, but it's not really changing. In high school, you may be afraid to be who you really are. Well, in college, it's definitely not like that. In college, you can be whoever you want to be, and there will be people that, like, accept you and will, like, love you. I have found more friends, more close friends that have a similar personality to me in college than I even knew existed when I was in high school. And you will just hang out with more and more people, and college will become exponentially more fun as time goes on. When I first got to college, my entire first semester, I spent hanging out with pretty much myself. And, like, not trying to meet people, and not trying to go to any events. And then one night, one of my friends was like, we're gonna go partying. So, we went to this on-campus party thing, and it was really, really fun. I was really surprised. So the next week, we went back. They have these every week. The next week, I went back, and we met some people, and they were really, really nice. And when I was in high school, since I live really close to where I go to school, like, this time of the year was my favorite when I was in high school because the city is dead when college is not in session. But now that I'm in college, this is the saddest time ever. Because all of my friends left. Just last week, I helped my friend move out of his dorm. Although, granted, he doesn't live very far away. But it's far enough that, like, we won't see each other until school starts back up. Which he's also thinking about switching schools, so I'm quite depressed about that. And another hint is if there are people from your high school that you genuinely really like they're really your friends, they're not just people that you just kind of hang around. If you know that they're going to the same university, stay in touch with them. Because chances are, if they're genuinely your friend, you have similar personalities, and you will attract friends that have similar personalities. And you can make, like, a mega group, I guess. My group, after these parties, we always go to Steak and Shake, and there are generally, like, 9 to 12 people in our group. Which, I mean, I'm not a people person, but it's amazing because I know these people and they're my close friends, and it's just really, really nice. So find people that you like, study, get good grades, and don't fail classes. Like, if you think you're going to fail a class, withdraw from it. Or go and talk to the professor before you withdraw to really see what it's like. My first semester of physics, I thought I was going to fail that class the entire way through. And I went and talked to my professor, like, right before the drop class ended, and he was like, no, you're doing really well. So just talk to your professor, because sometimes it may seem like you're doing bad, but you're really not. Just make sure that you're not failing classes, because 1, it hurts your GPA, and 2, you spent money on those classes, and if you fail them, then you've just pretty much wasted your money. So always try to work things out before you have to come to the absolute last resort. Make sure that you have a good time, because college, even though, yeah, it's a lot of studying and a lot of work, and it's way different, it is the best time of your life. And you can be whoever you want to be. You can join whatever club you want to join. You can study as much as you want, and it is just amazing. So just make sure that you're calm, confident, because it's not that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, it's a big deal to go to college, but after your first couple days, you'll get used to the campus, you'll get used to your classes, the people in them, and just, you don't have to be a social butterfly, but just make sure that you socialize somewhat, because people are going to be your friends, and these friends will last a long time. So just make sure that you're confident. There's no reason to get all anxious and everything, because you'll find that it's really quite fun. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you later.